Hello, welcome back. Today we have inner thigh destruction number 3. I promised you one day every single week that's devoted just to inner thighs because I think that's really important in shaping your legs, toning, narrowing, sculpting. Maybe you're just looking to add more shape and a little more firmness. I was gonna say. I was up at 4:30 this morning, so I'm here armed and ready. It's like 2 p.m. It's not late, but yeah, I'm struggling a little bit today. So I got my coffee, and we're gonna do our inner thighs just flat on the mat today, so it's a little less cardiovascular than usual. Nothing more to say. I don't know where the dog is. Maybe he'll come in. Who knows? Let's go shred our inner thighs. We're going to start with a really nice hip warm-up today. This is something that I like to take before pretty much anything I do that does involve legs, as far as like leg dexterity. I wouldn't do this before I just do a bunch of squats or something, but this is to really open up through your legs, your hips, your inner thighs, get all those snap, crackle, pops out, and get your muscles initiated to get them activated. So we're just gonna go through this warm-up here. Sorry, I didn't mean to be advertising Starbucks here. So lay comfortably on your mat. I'm going to use my leg facing you first. Got a hair on my pants here. So we're just going to open the knee and slide it down. This is just to warm up the joint of your hip. You might get a little bit of popping here as you just let your leg fall to the side. Don't over muscle it at all. It should feel just really loose. You're creating space and a little extra fluid there in your hip socket. Down and around. Down and around. So just simply reverse that. Long, out, and in. So I go down, turn it out, and bring it in. Just kind of like getting any of that junk out of the way, loosening everything, making it nice and happy. My hips just feel a little old all the time, so I think it is really important to warm up joints before you work them hard. So now take your foot and flex it, and we're going to press it up to the ceiling until you feel a pretty decent hamstring stretch. And then bring it down, up and down. I'm not just kicking my leg a little bit, I'm really engaging through the quadriceps, pull, or push, so that there's tension, push and push. You're activating, warming up your quads as well as stretching a little bit in your hamstring. So you might be able to go a little closer as that hamstring opens up a little bit. Small difference, we're just gonna turn the knee in a little bit, and then as I stretch, I'm gonna point my toe and turn it out. I don't know if you can see that angle exactly here. So I turn in a little bit, and then turn out. Turn in a little bit, turn out. So just to get a little bit of rotational movement through the hip joint, turn in, turn out, turn in, turn out. You should feel all those little muscles and tendons and ligaments close to your hip joint, working to rotate your femur in its socket. Keep your toe pointed, just lower and lift. Now these sets all count as working your legs. You're activating your muscles. So put the same intention and concentration into these movements. Try not to just flop through them. Toes are pointed, knees are straight. Let's go a little faster into these bot moths. So I'm not really pushing. I'm not trying to get my legs super high. Trying to feel a little bit of hamstring stretch there, but we're just warming up. Hold it at the top, and we're going to start a slow circle out to the side. Now, I get a little bit of grinding here in my hip. It's just because my hip is arthritic. I'm 30, people. So, yeah, my hips have had a lot of wear and tear from ballet. Hopefully, we don't have hip replacements in the future, but we'll see. I think movements like this that can help support and stabilize the hips are really important to do. I feel a lot better when I take the time to open them out and strengthen and add support to those joints. Okay, we're going to reverse that. So we go down, out, and it's really important to rotate and turn out. Here's where you really start to feel that inner thigh, out and in. Make sure that your other knee isn't doing anything weird out to the side. Nice and slow and out. Toes are still pointed, legs are still extended. It is worth mentioning that you shouldn't be slumping in your shoulders here if you can. Stay nice and open. So I'm like bundled up. It's like 20 degrees in my garage right now, so it's chilly. Woo! Okay, now just stay at the top. You're gonna open away for 2 and in for 2. This is where you have to really watch that other knee in. Moving slowly to start, squeeze. If that bothers your hip, bring it a little closer underneath you. Out and squeeze. Out and squeeze. Trying to move a little bit faster. Woo! If that doesn't feel good on your hip, play around. Maybe you're all the way down here. Maybe you're like all the way up here, like, yeah, this is the best thing I've ever done. Few more, and we'll take that whole thing on the other side. One more, fold it in. All right, other leg. So your leg opens and slides down. Open, slide down. Open, slide down. That's a little better view. Open. Remember, you're relaxing for this part. You're just letting your hip joint have a little movement. And then reverse. So slide it down, turn it out, and lift it up. Again, picturing your femur just sort of kind of doing a little dance in your hip socket. Get nice and warmed up, loosened up. Make sure you're staying out of your shoulders as we sit here on our elbows. Bring your foot in, flex it, and start to press it up to the ceiling. Now remember, it's active. Woo! I like this feeling on my hamstring a lot. I prefer kind of more of a dynamic stretch like this, going straight in when I'm coming out, or when I'm starting from being cold. Like if I'm really just trying to warm myself up from ground zero, I need to work a little more dynamically, get a little more blood flowing. A static stretch doesn't feel like the right option here. Make sure that you're engaging your quadriceps, pushing with resistance. You're already activating the right muscle. So now we take that little deviation, just a little bit of turn in, and then turn out and point. So flex, point. That way you're also warming up your ankles, getting your rotation inside your hip socket. Get a few more here, and then we'll hit those grumbamas. So let's keep our toe pointed. We move slow to start. Down and lift. Down, lift. Nice and smooth. Starting to pick up the pace once you feel like your hamstring is open enough. Really push. I probably wouldn't have been able to even kick this high if I hadn't have done those initial bend and presses through my leg to open up my hamstring. So notice that if you're already a little more warm, that dynamic stretching could be a great way to open up your muscles first thing in a workout. All right, slow circle up, out, and around. Try not to move your knee. I did it a little bit. Up, out, around. You will start to feel your inner thigh right about here as you start to pull it in. Remind yourself not to slump into your shoulders. Up, out, and around. Toes are pointed. Whee! And reverse. All right, now this one's a lot of inner thigh. Oh, squeeze it in and around. Squeeze, out and in. You might notice you're able to use your lower abs a little bit here too with your inner thighs. That's awesome. Just a little bonus there. Try to control that other knee. Let's do 2 more, and then we'll do our slow opens out to the side. So hold right here. We're gonna open out for 2 and in for 2. Nice and controlled. Out and in. Try to watch that other knee. Stabilize. Don't let your other hip roll away either. Squeeze it in and out. It's moving a little faster. Out and in. Again, listening to your hip. If you need to come around a little bit lower, it shouldn't make anything feel not okay here, although this should be quite challenging. Out and in, and out, and in. Let's do 4 more, and then we'll call it warm. And we'll start in on our real part of the series. Last one, and fold it in. Come all the way flat. We're gonna get into our main inner thigh set here. That's double-legged. So we're gonna start with our legs, hello, up to the top, turn them out, and then open into a little straddle. Now I like to bring my legs a little bit forward to start here. If your low back is arching, take your hands under your hips. Okay, so we're gonna flex and bend, and then point and extend. Flex and bend, point, extend. Sort of this undulating movement, like a plie, press and open. Plie in, press and open. Plie in, press and open. Plie in, press and open. So I kind of feel like a jellyfish here, pushing in and out through water. Takes me a little while to feel this one, but when I feel it, it's really good. I like the flexing and the pointing of the feet, and it's a lot of lower ab control. In and out. Good, get nice and wide, kind of easing into those inner thighs. Let's do a few more. 4, in, out 3, in, out 2, in, out 1. Hold for a moment, take your hands out from underneath your hips, and give yourself a nice little stretch. You can rock side to side. Do your best not to arch your back, but instead to lift and pull in through your low abs. We're gonna squeeze those inner thighs up for 2 and down for 2, starting slow. Up for 2 and down for 2. Controlling, and I think external rotation is helpful here. If you're a little more turned in, I just can't get my legs as far open. But I don't mind it at the top, the feeling of the inner thighs, but try to keep a little bit of that squeeze. We'll take a little faster. Out and in, out and in. Notice your low abs. They're great synergists to this movement. Inner thighs and abs are wonderful friends and partners, and they like to collab together. So as we start that a little bit faster, I want you to start to bring your legs just ever so slightly on a diagonal. We had a little accent. Pull, pull, pull. This is quite a lot of work for the low abs, actually, now that I've been here for a little while. Woo! So pretty simple sets in this exercise, or this little part of your leg series here today. Just high reps, as is our way, right? High reps, low weight, low resistance. Woo! You got 4 more, we take a little rest. 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees in, give your hips a little squeeze, a little rock side to side. This time, legs up the wall, flex your feet, and turn them out. Little heel clicks. Click, 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 click. My socks are dark and I'm worried you won't be able to see them against the background. All right, now cross. Go right leg, left leg, cross, cross. We did a little bit of this in that other video, the Pilates on the floor set. That was little floor bar and Pilates and stretching. So hopefully you know your form cues from here and you're good. We're back to those little heel clicks in first position. Just click, click. Let's go a little faster. Little tiny beats. Look up at your knees. Make sure your quads are pulled up and that your knees are straight. We're gonna start to lower those legs a little bit. Take a deep breath in, exhale, lift your body, and try to hold your arms here. Here we got 16 more little beats with those inner thighs. In. 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to your straddle. Hold your knees open. Restart that over. In for 2. In, 2, out, 2. In, 2. Again, hands can be underneath your hips for a little more support. All right, a little faster. In and out. Go in, out, in. I'm taking a little bounce at the bottom, and I'm also not opening quite as wide because I want to be able to sustain this position. I also don't want to hurt my hips. I don't want to smack them too far down to the floor. I want to keep a little bit of tension in those inner thighs. All right, flex your feet. Those little squeeze, 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 squeeze. Tight and tiny. Woo, lower abs are zipped up. Back is pretty flat. Little crosses, right leg, right, left. So a little bit faster, but not as fast as that first position. We're gonna just try to have a little coffee chat and stay here as long as you can manage. Really pulling your knees. I want you to think about crossing your thighs rather than your feet. So way up at the top. My thighs are like rubbing together a little bit, but that's okay. Little healthy shape in there is okay. Woo! We're back to those little heel clicks. Click, 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 click. Tiny. We lower down on that diagonal. We take a nice deep breath in. We exhale, lift up, letting go of those arms. 16 more. 16, 15, 14. Nice and tight. Woo! 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Take a little break right there. Good. We're almost done, but not quite. With this set. Go back up, a little bit different. Feet are flexed. We're going to do one leg at a time. A lot of control with the upper body. Down and up. other leg, down and up. So a lot of control in the opposite hip and the leg that's driving up to the ceiling. A little faster, smaller, lift, down, up, down. Notice what other muscles try to kick in here and let them, as long as your body stays relatively still. Out, in, out, in, out, in. 4, 3. We're going to resume those little circles that we did on our warm-up. So point your toes. One leg stays up, and I'm going to open my leg towards you. We go out, down, around, and up. Out, down, around, and up. Out, down, around, and squeeze. So a little more intention on the way up. Make this nice and brisk. You're thinking about long, lean muscles, pointed toes, nicely, smoothly moving hips. We're going to reverse that, okay? You're going to really feel the inner thigh right there. Down and around and through. A little slower on this side to come up. I want all that focus in your squeeze. Down right here, squeeze slow to the top. Down, squeeze slow to the top. Use your abs to control. I want to see your body rolling around. Down, through, and up. One more, and we'll start that other side. So we go down, up, and in. Down, up, pull. With a little more attention right there, like you're zipping everything up. Zip, down, out, pull. Out, down, pull. I don't know how to speak sometimes. Use your abs right here. Think about lengthening through your legs and your feet. Out, down, pull. Out, down, pull. Out, down, pull. You got a few more, and then we'll reverse it, taking it just a wee bit slower. All right, so take it down first. Down, out, around, and up. A little smoother, especially here to the side. Down, out, around, and up. Woo, around and up. Down, out. Try to control your hips, your lower abs, your shoulders should be relatively relaxed here. Let's do 4 more, and we'll call it down, out, up. 3, and up. 2 more. I think we need another little sprint of heel clicks before we go into single leg. All right, flex, turn out, in, 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 in. So I do encourage you to open a little wider here. Maybe lower those legs just a smidge. In, 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 in. 16, 15, 14, 13. Lower abs, concave, tight. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Hug your knees in. Take a little breather. We're going to go right into our side series. Again, just a small variation on what we've been doing in our other videos, just to keep you interested, but we still want to get after that inner thigh. There's no avoiding it. Our angle we're going to take today is a little further leaning back than usual. So you're just going to get, rather than all the way up into this part of your inner thigh, you travel just a little bit more into that anterior area. This one I feel all the way to the front of my knee. I think I have a little bit of a saggy knee going on, so I'm always trying to work on that area. So one leg goes behind the other. Rock your top hip back, and we're going to lift and lower. Now we did this very similar move in the very first video I made in this series, so hopefully you remember this. Lift and lower. We're going to add a little arm on this one. So I want you to extend your top arm, and I want you to really slice. I'm not asking you to tap your foot. I want you to tap over it. Okay? Tap and squeeze. What else are you feeling here? Hopefully a lot of oblique to bring you in and up. I think this whole area here, if you're able to get that to work together, can be really helpful if you do other things like dancing. This is really helpful in leg extensions. Aerial, this is really helpful for inversions to get that core connection. CrossFit, toes to bar, all of those things that involve that flexion through the midsection. Ooh, that rhymed. Flexion through the midsection. I could be a rapper. That's what we want. My leg is tired. Woo! We're just crushing. We're just moving on through. Slow and steady. I'm allowing my hips to rock a little bit because I want as much energy right there to slice as possible. All right, hold to the top. Your legs should be shaking a little bit. I'll just hold. Extend, reach, toes are pointed. Woo! Little pulses, up, up, up. Now I'm still not attached, I'm not parallel, and I'm not waist side. I'm on kind of that weird diagonal situation. In our pulse, we're gonna do one lift and then one little motion towards the camera or towards me. So slow it down a little bit, up, and then a little out. Little up and out. Little up, little out. Little up, little out. Try to kind of look at your toe. You should be drawing kind of a lopsided letter U. Woo! So what's good about this particular angle is it does get a little bit more into your vastus medialis, but still in that sort of inner edge. I'm feeling my inner thigh. Quite a lot. All right, we're back to our little pulses here. Little lift. Okay, we stay here for just a nice quick measure of music, and then we're going to take it all the way over to our side for a last final bit of breath before we flip around for the other leg. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. So come all the way down, and this time you're going to take your top leg and lay it all the way over. Okay, head in hand. I keep my toe pointed for this first set, and you're going to lift up against this leg. Lift, lower, lift. You might have to finagle your hip bones a little bit. I immediately feel my left hip bone in this scenario. But what's cool about this angle is before with that little diagonal rock back, we were working a little bit more to the front. Now you're working the inner thigh, but a little more to the back. A little faster pulse. Lift, lift, lift. So a little tiny, tiny bit of my glute is coming into play, even though I'm still trying to hone in on that inner thigh. Good, lift and hold here. Hold, lower, hold. Now I should be able to see, or you should be able to see your own leg pop up above your hip a little bit. I can almost start to see my toe emerging. Hello, lift. 4 more, hold. Little down, hold. 2, remember long muscles here, back to your little pulse. Lift, lift. Maybe squeeze in. This is the position that I sleep in a lot. So maybe as you're sleeping at night, you'll think about these inner thigh series. You literally can get this done at any time. These floor series are so nice. You can lay on the floor, watch a movie, work your inner thighs, relax. You could be in bed, working those inner thighs. It's a little weird. All right, flex your foot, just a little bend and press to finish. Little push. So I want you to finish on the note of feeling extra long through your muscles. Remember, we're doing these positions and these certain exercises to lengthen and elongate and tone in a very slender manner. 7, 6, 5, a little higher if you can. 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Let's go right away to the other side. We'll stretch after. So we do that rocked back version first, right? Coming open with your hips, lift and lower. Just feels nice to give this leg a rest. This one's all fresh and ready to work. Lift, lower, so here comes our top arm. Hi-ya, over. A big exhale is helpful in order to feel your obliques. Extra squeeze. Exhale, twist, cross, twist. I'm feeling so fresh on this leg that we might have to be here for a long time. Woo! I'm starting to really feel my ab on this side, so it should be the internal oblique on the side, same leg that's lifting, or same side as the leg that's lifting. Make sure you're not squashing into your shoulders. Sorry if we're doing more on this side, it just feels so good. Maybe this leg is a lot stronger. Woo! 2 more, and then we'll pulse. 2, and 1. Little pulse right here. Oh, we did a hold first. Woo! Chill out for a second, just hold that leg. Remember, the isometric work is sometimes the hardest. Try not to let it drop, hold, rotate it, look at it. Beautiful. Admire your own leg, little pulses here. Lift, lift. So feel free to admire your leg, look at it. Build that brain to body connection. You should always have the knowledge of what muscle you are actually working at the time. I never like to go into a movement or an exercise sort of blind, like I have no idea what muscle group I'm actually using. I don't want that feeling. Little lift, little lift, little lift. All right, we're gonna go into our little U's here. So we're gonna slow it down for a second. So we go up and then out to the side, to the front a little bit. Oh, my leg's starting to shake. Out and up. I'm still really pulling in that internal oblique. Little faster, front and out. Notice what muscles of your abdominals are working. Is it your transverse, your rectus, your internal oblique, your external oblique? No, there's really no external. Just kind of take note as you're doing simple exercises like this to learn a little more about your body. A few more. All right, little pulses here to the finish. Open out of your chest. Little breather. 3 more, we're gonna lay it all the way down. Last one. Come all the way down, cross your leg over. Nice and comfy. Squeeze your booty under and together. Then lift. Lower. Squeeze. It should feel kind of nice. It's a whole different angle on that inner thigh. So you might feel relatively fresh and ready to go, like you have a lot more gas in the tank with that particular side of the muscle. A little faster. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, buddy. What you doing? Are you hunting things out there? Yes. Come over here. Keep pulsing. Come here. Good. All right, lift and hold. Hold. Remember these? Lift, hold. Look for your leg. Can you see it? Up and over your hip. Push your top knee down a little bit. Ooh. Lift. Lengthen your legs. So remember, long, lean muscles, always in extension. Lift. Even if you do other things like heavy lifting, lots of plyo, let's go back to that pulse. Movements and exercises like this can just feel good. Just works your muscles in a different pattern, a different way. Make sure your abs are in tight. All right, so just that bend and press here to finish. Flex your foot, bend, press, press, press. Woo! I'm starting to feel everything come into play here, right? So my quad is still working. That inner, slightly back hip, or inner thigh right there, and a little bit of my glute. Let's do 8 more. 7, 6, extend through your heel. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice. Woo! Give yourself a little stretch. Just to wrap it up, we're gonna go back into that first series, but like a speed version of it, just so you really get enough bang for your buck here. I'm worried that you might not be feeling this enough in your inner thighs. So comfy again, hands wherever they may fall. A little more parallel this time. Start a nice little pull in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We're relaxed. Think a nice long line is through your spine. Abs are in tight. Start a little more turnout here. In, in. I think flexed feet is just a great way to make sure you're seeing the turnout in your own body. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're gonna go back. 3, 2 to those crisscrosses. Right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. Small to start, and then we're gonna get a little bit bigger. Pull, pull, pull. I'd like to see a little bit of holds, pause, in, in. I notice that my whole center here, my whole core feels tighter if I pull my navel into the spine. Over here, pull and pull. A little faster, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So naturally when a movement changes tempo to a faster beat, your movement or your range of motion has to get smaller to adapt. Pull, pull, pull. Big ones to finish. Take it out and squeeze. Out, squeeze. Little bounce at the bottom. It's fine. We are opening. I'm starting to get a little shake. And in. You just stay here for a sweet, sweet moment. It should feel kind of nice on your thighs to open, right? What's that? Bam. I always wanted to be able to tap my feet on the floor, but just isn't in the cards for me. All right, 4 more. Pull. 3. Starting to shake a little bit. 2. Grand finale. 32 little heel clicks right here. Try to get on that angle. In, in. Try to curl up. Try to lengthen those fingertips. We're halfway there. You got 60 more over that. 60, 50, 40. Pull. Abs nice and tight. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good job, we did it. Take a little moment after this, if you have one, to stretch, knees out, happy baby pose, an extra straddle. I do advise for that stretch up against the wall and a straddle too. If you have like 5 minutes after this, get your booty all the way up to the wall, open it out, and just let gravity, relax, detox, open your hips, stretch out your muscles. A little bit of spinal twisting should feel pretty good here too. Your hips, you might have used some different muscles that you're not used to in and around your hip sockets, so just be aware of that. I like using new muscles. It's good. Learning about your body is such a fun thing, the way it moves, the way it works. That's it, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!